Pacinthe Mattar. I'm a CBC radio producer. So the first thing I would say about writing is that it's hard. Good writing reads really easily and sounds beautiful, but it takes a lot of work. Even the best authors in the game will tell you that. So give yourself a lot of time, don't beat yourself up too much in the process, and here are a few tips and tricks that should make your writing stronger and also make the process a little bit smoother for you. So the best writing is simple writing. It's writing that's clear, straightforward, and has a simple message. One thing to look out for when you're writing is to make sure your sentences don't go on for too long, or that you're not trying to cram in too many thoughts in one sentence. Another thing to look out for is over-reliance on buzzwords or jargon. You do want to show your funders that you know what you're talking about, but you don't want to alienate them by just relying on buzzwords and using them too frequently. Read your work out loud. You never want to be in a situation where your funders are the first people to read your grant. So a second set of eyes are great, but if you can't get someone else to look over your work, read it out loud to yourself, every word. You'll be surprised what your brain kind of auto-corrects when you're reading it on the page quietly, but mouthing out each word, you'll be able to catch a lot of mistakes. On the subject of editing, don't try to write and edit at the same time. They are two completely different processes, and if you try to write and edit at the same time, you'll feel like you're really not going anywhere, and it'll feel like you're kind of chasing your tail a little bit. So focus first and foremost at getting your ideas out there, and then go back a separate time and edit. The last thing I would say is be excited about your grant. Show your excitement in your writing. Let your personality and enthusiasm shine through. If you have a great idea, don't let it get lost in the middle of your grant somewhere where the funders might not read it. Put it somewhere up top where they'll notice it right away, because a good idea is infectious. Make sure your funders know how excited you are about your idea, and they will be too.
Hi, my name is Erika Pulfer. I do a lot of things, but I always seem to be grant writing in all of them, no matter the role. One of the things I find challenging about grant writing is that as you start doing more and longer term grants, the supporting documentation can become quite stressful. So grants are about getting money, obviously, but they're also an opportunity to develop your idea and help clearly describe why your project is as amazing and as impactful as you know it is. So I'm here to share a couple of tips about supporting documentation and planning your grant writing that will help you not get caught up in putting the package together and be able to concentrate on your idea. There are two main tools that I like to use for grant planning: funder tables and Google Calendar. A funder table is a list of grants that are available for different types of projects. Outreach has one that you can use and adapt for your own use by updating deadlines, researching and adding additional grants, or recording your own history with a particular funder. This is a living document that you should update a couple of times a year. Google Calendar is an easy way to keep track of grant deadlines and prioritize what grants you're able to commit to writing. It's also a great way to set up mini deadlines for yourself leading up to a grant deadline, like having drafts ready for your steering committee members, meeting with granting officers, and asking for letters of support. Another key thing to making grant writing easier is to collect supporting documentation throughout the year. Some supporting documentation is mandatory, like financial statements, but I want to talk about the things that aren't necessarily mandatory, but can really help as additional information to show the impact of your project. These are things like letters of support, quotes and testimonials from people who have been part of your project, and pictures and videos. Continually update your social media during events and programs. Your Twitter, Tumblr, and Facebook can become natural storage places for photos, videos, and program updates that you can go back to while grant writing. Collect quotes about why your project is important, meaningful, or needed throughout the year. You can incorporate ways to collect quotes through evaluations, through writing, or even video interviews. Inserting quotes into your grant is a great way to drive home the impact and bring your program to life. Ask people to write letters of support 2 to 3 weeks before the grant deadline. You should provide either a brief outline of the goals and activities of your project, or better yet, a draft letter of support. This way, you'll be ensured that you have all of the information you need and the letter gets back to you on time.